Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk to you a little bit about a product that my company manufactures. Years ago, there was a company called Fakini. Everybody in magic pretty much knows who they are. And they produced a 1-inch silicone ball that was used for doing the fabulous 3-ball trick that was made famous by Dave Vernon. Later on down the line, another version of it came along that was very popular by David Roth, and he actually used their blue balls for the same routine. Fast forward some years later, and Fakini goes out of business when it's passed down to the two sons. They decide they want to retire and spend their free time doing what they want to do and not focus on the Fakini line. So I decided that I was going to pick up where they left off and create all new molds, find all new materials, and recreate a similar product. So I'm going to show you the difference between my product and the Fakini line. And if anyone out there is interested, you can just PM me and I can tell you where you can pick these up. So here's the original Fakini balls, and these are fantastic, and I use this set for a very long time. They've held up very well. I can't recommend these enough. They're just absolutely fantastic. These are 1-inch, and here's the thing that's kind of interesting about the Fakini line and the memory of performers throughout the years. Every single person I've ever talked to who knew Frank or Randy or anyone that picked up this set over the years swears up and down that these balls were absolutely seamless. And I assure you that is not the case at all. These have just as big a seam as any other ball. They are not perfect, and that's because of their age. Back then, molding materials weren't as good as they are now, and the pigments and the silicone itself weren't as good as they are now. Time changes and formulas get better and new discoveries are made. So I just want to point out what the differences are compared to today. This is a high-grade silicone, and it's held up. I mean, these are very old. Fast forward to today, and we end up with this. This is actually my company's variation of the ball, and you'll notice that the seam is very similar to the original Fakini. I wanted to create the feeling of buying those balls and having them look very similar, but have today's technology put into them. So I actually constructed the molds to make the same types of imperfections that the Fakini balls had. Now you'll notice that when I set these side by side, it's a little bit hard to see, but you'll notice that the new ones are a little bit brighter white than the old ones, and there's a reason for that. You see, the pigment that we use in the new ones is a much brighter color, for one, but technology has changed enough to make it a more vivid white. But the other thing that this pigment has also done is it's given it a 100-year shelf life to stay that color white, and that's what these don't have. This is actually about the same color it was when it came out of the mold at the Fakini factory, but it never looked quite this bright. The other difference that I want to show you is the container. And there's a reason why they get shipped to you in a little bag like this. When you use these, you're going to get oils from your hands all over them. They're going to pick up little bits of dust here and there. So what you want to do is you want to take the balls, put them in your hand with some Blue Dawn dish soap. And I say Blue Dawn dish soap for a reason. It just works better at cleaning off the silicone, and it takes just a drop. You're gonna rub them between your hands to make sure that they're thoroughly cleaned and rinsed off and dried completely. So just let them sit on a napkin or a paper towel and let them totally dry out. Put them back inside the bag and take just a pinch of cornmeal or corn-based baby powder and put it inside the bag and seal the bag shut and give it a shake. And what that will do is that will coat the outside of the ball so that every time you use them, they look bright, they look bright and they look clean. This is a fantastic set to have if you're going to perform the fabulous 3-ball routine. It's the nice thing about this is I know that you're going to say, oh, I could just go get a super ball and use 4 super balls and perform the trick. And you're right, you can. But I'm going to promise you that when you get a hold of these, you are going to love the density compared to a super ball. These have a nice dense feel to them. They bounce nearly as well as a super ball, and I would say even just as good. But these have a much nicer feel, a much heavier feel in the hands. They feel like quality, just like the old Fakini balls did compared to super balls. All in all, these are a vast improvement over the Fakini. And that's not because I've done anything different or anything better, except for selecting better materials. But the materials that I use now did not exist when these were being made. So that's why these are a superior product compared to these. These are even a little bit more dense and heavy and have a heftier feel to them than even the Fakinis did. All in all, these are a fantastic ball. They've come out perfectly. So now that I've kind of explained the difference between the two, let me show you something kind of cool that you can do with either one of them. That it's not a trick, it's just an idea. I used to perform David Williamson's salt in coffee cup routine. I can't remember what it's called. And one of the things that he used to do is he used to fill this with salt and tuck it in his belt. But I actually use one of the Fakini balls, and this is why I still put 5 in the bag to this date, because I only use 4 for the fabulous 3-ball trick. And it's nice that you get one, so if one bounces under a table and you never find it, you have a replacement. But here's the other reason that I do this. Because I used to perform that trick so much, the extra 5th ball from Fakini, I found that you can jam this in the end of your thumb tip filled with salt and place it into your pocket, and it will stay that way throughout your whole night of performing. When you're ready to perform the salt routine from David Williamson, you reach into your pocket, just push the ball out and it drops into your pocket with the other balls. And then when you reach over to grab the coffee cup, you load the salt. So just kind of an interesting tip for those that want to have a reason to have a 5th ball and carry it with them everywhere. So in any event, that's it. You can pick these up from me. I only sell them directly. I don't sell them to magic shops. So if you'd like a set, just let me know.